for the Heat, couple minutes into the second half. Miami trying to win 4 in a row for the first time in 2 years. Another pick and roll. Stoudemire thriving, and Dwayne Wade keeps finding him.
Yeah, Wade, he's only 1 for 5, but he's got the 5 assists.
7 unanswered points by the Heat to go back in front by 20. Stoudemire reaching in for the steal. Well, the Heat had 56-36, smothering defense, holding the Hawks to 27% shooting.
They're starting the third quarter the way they started the game.
Oh, another great pass. Dwayne Wade, is he showing you his skill set?
One
of the great scorers in league history and remains an underrated distributor.
Watch this D-Wade pass again. Comes off the screen, waits. And again, he's looking to his left. He knows Stoudemire is going to be open because he sees where the defenders are. Heat fans that watch a lot of these games, they're wondering, maybe wondering, why are the Heat going to this basket in the second half? Usually they're going the other way. Well, in the NBA, it's the visiting team that gets the choice of the basket. So Atlanta wanted their offense in front of their bench in the second half. That's why they chose that.
As a coach, Tony, which you were for most of your life, what would you rather have? Your team in front of you, offensively or defensively?
It depends. If you trust your defense, whichever one that you think is struggling a little bit, that's the team. That's the part you want in front of you in the second half.
Now timeout to Atlanta. Amare Stoudemire, what a fill-in he's been for Hassan Whiteside at center. Stoudemire 5 for 7 shooting, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and a block shot. The Heat have scored 9 unanswered points. Largest lead of the game. It's up to 22.
Chris Bosh with a team-high 77 trifectas this season, marking the most for a single season in his career. He had 74 in all last season, trending toward 131 if you want to do that math. Bosh's best shooting percentage for 3 was last season at 37.5 from the land of milk and honey. So far, 37.3%. I imagine that's gone up a little bit. I haven't done the math just yet, Eric. So back over to you.
You get to it when you get to it, Jax. That's good stuff. Chris Bosh, a little bit like Al Horford, only more so. 2 bigs that have expanded their range. That's staying relevant, staying up to the minute in the NBA. Big guys that can draw out defense. But Horford, in all his years, this is his 9th season. He only had 1 made 3 here in Miami, and in all those visits, he's made 2 tonight, and is by far having his best year. And Bosh, he keeps building his game from the perimeter.
Eric, I think the thing that escapes a lot of fans and a lot of journalists, if you will, that there's a lot of coaching that goes on behind the scenes. People look at the game and the strategy. Obviously, there's coaching strategy during a game, but there's so much coaching that goes on behind the scenes. Chris Bosh was encouraged by Coach Spoelstra when he came to Miami to expand his range, and each year he got more and more until he got comfortable shooting the 3.
Chris Bosh tonight going over 300 career threes.
It's like when LeBron was here, coach encouraged him to get a back to the basket move.
How about that? That's the magic of Bosh. The way he has mixed his game. Drives, jump shots, threes, defense, leadership. He's bringing you the whole package night after night.
And the 3-point shot sets all that up because he's so good going right or left, finishing to the rim. One of the most skilled big men in the NBA. Very deserving of that all-star bid.
Amare Stoudemire watches what he eats, a very healthy diet, also known to take the occasional wine bath. Tony, we may have to think about that because it is working wonders for Stoudemire.
I want to drink it. I don't know if I want to be
That's what I thought.
But look at him.
Tony would be the first to take a Pinot Noir bath.
He said he took one when he was in New York.
Bazemore going coast to coast. But Amare Stoudemire, 12 points and 9 rebounds. It's the second game in a row that Amare's had 12 points. He had 12 at Milwaukee. These are his 2 best scoring games in a row in a Heat uniform. Miami's up by 20. Wade against Bazemore. A little bit of a flop by Bazemore, but it creates the turnover. And this is Teague right at Dragic, who held his ground. It's going to be a blocking foul on Goran.
Okay.
That's number 4 on Dragic. And the 3rd team foul against the Heat, and that quickly prompts Beno Udrih to come off the bench.
See this again. Yeah, that's a good call. He was moving to his left. Dragic was moving to his left.
Dragic will sit down. 7 points, 4 assists.
So you get a different dynamic now. with Udry at point guard. More of a calming effect. If the open J, set up the teammates. Dragic is in the open court going to the basket, penetrating the baseline, hitting open teammates, making the three. Different dynamic.
Actually, good to have them both because they bring different things to the table. Two competent point guards with different skill sets. Udry finding Deng, who has stepped out of bounds. Well, tonight, Stoudemire, the Heat's leading scorer with 12 points. Bosch has 10. Stoudemire and Bosch have combined for 16 of the Heat's 35 rebounds. Well, Kyle Korver, he's missed all 5 of his shots. Now, he did have off-season ankle surgery and elbow surgery. He's a very hard worker in the offseason. That curtailed and changed the kind of work he was able to do. Rather than work on his game, he was doing more injury rehab. Tony got off to a slow start because of the offseason injuries. I think that's impacted Korver's confidence this year.
Well, the thing that would make sense is that maybe he never got the strength back in that ankle that he had before, because shooting is all with legs.
Here's Horford drilling his 3rd triple of the game. We told you earlier on, 48 threes this year for Al. In his first 8 years, he had a total of 21 threes. 15-point lead for the Heat. 7 straight points for Atlanta.
Cyber said, a.k.a. Cedric Brown, shout-outs on the telecast. I don't think he's aware he's on television right now. Cyber said is our resident social media expert here at the Miami Heat. He travels with the team, so he gets amazing behind-the-scenes access, resulting in fantastic posts and content. Content you won't see unless you are following us on our social media channels. So make sure you tune into your Miami Heat and American Airlines Arena on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. I'm going to let Ced know. My fellow brother from Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
And he just got some serious TV time. You'd imagine his phone just blew up right there with everything he's connected to.
Jax, I like that. It's Cedric showing off the pensive side of his personality. Dwayne Wade underneath, able to convert. 8 points for Dwayne. Miami ends that Atlanta run that had reached 7 straight points.
Ced does an outstanding job for a young guy in our profession, boys. What a pleasure to travel with, and does a real good job of letting the fans know that what's going on the inside.
No question. Kyle Korver on an 0-for. He's missed all 6 of his shots. By the way, the Heat are a half game behind both the Celtics and the Hawks in the conference standings. Right now they're handling Atlanta, and the Celtics with a 1-point lead in Orlando. Dwayne Wade with a short putt. 10 points for Wade.
Kind of fumbled his way to that shot. Whatever it takes.
Dwayne Wade closing in on another NBA legend on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Beno Udrih just took a shot from Teague. An offensive foul on Teague, his 4th, and Udrih checking for blood. He got hit right in the face.
He figured with Tyler Johnson out, maybe it's his turn to get hit in the face. Tyler usually is in that position. Watch should be the elbow maybe. Yes, the right elbow hit him right in the face. We talked about that. That's a tough call on the offensive play. Obviously, he didn't do it on purpose. He's going up with his shot, but the elbow is right near the face of the defender when you go up.
So Teague, who's struggling through a 2-for-9 shooting game, sits down with 9 points and 4 fouls. Dennis Schroeder checks in, and he goes right to work defensively against Udrih. Miami's ahead by 19. Udrih zigzag dribble over Splitter for the score.
It looks just like his Slovenian counterpart there, Goran Dragic.
6 unanswered points by the Heat after the Eric Spoelstra timeout. And the 7 unanswered points by the Hawks. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Thabo Sefolosha, along with Splitter, all in for Atlanta. Dwayne Wade thought he had the steal. Instead, number 3, going to get his first foul of the game.
Boy, Wade, popping out there, trying to help out Stoudemire. Let's see this again.
Oh, looked like he got all ball coverage.
Yeah, it did.
Dwayne Wade came into tonight's game needing 17 points to tie and 18 points to move past Hall of Famer Bernard King to move into sole possession of 42nd place on the league's all-time scoring list.
Fort
He's
Hamilton,
working on
New York. Bernard King.
10 points from Millsap. Miami's ahead by 19. Udrih missing the 3. Rebound to Hardaway. Tim Hardaway Jr. right by Deng. Nicely done. First score of the game for the 3rd-year man out of Michigan and a young man who grew up right here in South Florida. played at Palmetto Senior High in Pinecrest and had an outstanding 3-year career at Michigan. Alongside Trey Burke, who's now with the Utah Jazz. Wade got fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws off a good backdoor cut.
Excellent pass from Winslow. We talked about the floor game that Winslow plays. You got to be maybe a coach to really appreciate the little things that he does.
Third foul on Paul Millsap. Now, if you didn't see this in the first half, we want to show it to you again. The item of the game tonight from Crazy Andy, just for Heat fans, a Spalding Camo mini basketball with that fan-friendly price of $10. That's a great basketball for indoor and outdoor use. Take advantage of this offer by logging on to the MiamiHeatStore.com. And remember, it's only available during the telecast. So act fast. Log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com right now.
And Crazy Andy was up on that whole the West Coast trip we made and this past one in the Midwest. He was up every night with those specials.
Don't be surprised if you're shooting hoops outdoors somewhere and Tony Fiorentino just strolls right by walking his dogs in and gives you a tip or two.
There are kids in my neighborhood that are doing that. Showed them a couple of games they can play, shooting games. Keep points here.
Miami ahead by 18, just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Josh McRoberts has come into the game for the Heat. That's Schroeder. And Schroeder hustling to the rebound.
He beat Bano to that loose ball, to that rebound. Wants to go over the left shoulder splitter, does.
That wasn't pretty, but McRoberts fouled it. Second on Josh. 15 fouls, so the Heat are over the limit. Yeah, the Hawks have won 3 games in a row here in Miami. And overall, they've defeated the Heat 7 out of the last 8 meetings. Tony, this would be very meaningful for the Heat for a variety of reasons. It would move them in a first place for the moment in the division. It would move them into at least 5th in the East, but more importantly, that emotional and mental hurdle of getting a 4th straight win for the first time in nearly 2 seasons.
Keep the momentum going. The Heat's first game back from the All-Star game is at Atlanta.
Dwayne Wade is out. Gerald Green checks in. Wade sits down with 11 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. The Hawks haven't shot well from the field. They've been miserable at the field, 32%, but from the line, 16 of 18.
Oh, you got a mismatch.
Double on McRoberts. Out it comes. Deng. Oh, nicely done. Luol Deng with a dart. He's in double figures with 10.
See what happened on it. Eric Splitter had to come out and play Deng. Deng went right by him.
Deng, the 4th Heat scorer in double figures. Remember, 2 games in a row, the Heat have had 6 double-figure scores. Millsap.
Oh, boy. 2 Warriors going at it right there.
Well, Millsap can get you from anywhere. Downtown, mid-range, in the post. Very versatile and very valuable for Atlanta.
What's going on, Deng?
Deng fakes the 3. And sticks it over Cephalosha. You could see his game growing on this Heat team right now.
I was just thinking that he's getting better offensively, getting more to what he's used to. He's only averaging about 10 a game, but he's better than that.
They mentioned it earlier, averaging over 10 points per game with under 2 turnovers for the 12th year in a row. That's Cephalosha with the score, and that's the first score tonight for the 10-year man from Switzerland.
Yeah, Luol Deng averages almost 16 a game for his career.
This is a career low for Deng, but getting better and better. Winslow on the board. I like it when Winslow and Deng are in there together. 2:22 left in the third quarter. Miami's never trailed in this game. Millsap from downtown.
Yeah, you could see that. He was measuring that one.
He's got 9 of his 15 points in this quarter. You do remember that November night in 2010 when Millsap scored 46 here at the Heat's house.
He even got the rebound to send it and then put back to send the game into overtime.
That's when Millsap was playing for the Utah Jazz. Well, Miami's lead, which has been as big as 22, is now down to 13.
Same lead as halftime.
Well, another 3-game road trip begins for Miami in Houston, Texas, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, playing game number 48. And this feels like a launching point for the Heat this season. But, Coach, a lot of time left. This game could still go either way. But the Heat have played well to this point.
Second time now that the Atlanta's come back on the Heat when they've had that 22-point lead.
Millsap called for a reach-in foul, and now Millsap joins Teague with 4 fouls.
Not a good foul right there. Chris Bosh with his back to the basket, about 18 feet out. Now Coach Budenholzer's got to make a decision. Looks like he's gonna go to Horford for Millsap.
Horford with 13 points and only 2 fouls.
Doesn't want Millsap to get his fifth, unless you're guarding Bosh.
Shot clock to rest. It's down to 2. And this one knocked out of bounds. It's a turnover on Miami.
It's a foul on Green.
Gerald Green's first foul. Last 4 games, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh have combined for 48 points a game on 52% shooting. Tonight, that's been muted somewhat. Wade with 11, Bosh with 10. Now Ray Stoudemire with his first double-double, 12 points and 10 boards.
All 3 of those games, Eric, that the Heat played, the last 3 games, Chicago, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee, with a half a minute, 30, 40 seconds left in the game was still in the balance for either team. He pulled out all 3 games.
Dwayne Wade leading the way with double-figure points in 3 straight fourth quarters. While Atlanta with 7 unanswered points, the Heat lead has been cut in half. Miami was up by 22 at the 9:17 mark of the third quarter. McRoberts jammed up between Horford and the rim. The Heat will keep possession with 12 on the shot clock. It's an important stretch of the game right now. Which way will it turn next?
You want the quarter to end well. That's a good point. They're discussing whether the ball hit the rim, maybe. Coach Spoelstra look like he's asking the same question. You can't review it until under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Udrih with 7 on the shot clock. McRoberts from downtown.
Well, he shot that with confidence. That was in and out.
Well, he just 3 of 15 from downtown. The Hawks are 4 for 15. Splitter wheeling in and scoring. Thiago Splitter 4 of his 5 points in this quarter. And the Hawks have now scored 9 unanswered points.
Schroeder's penetration set that up.
So Miami's lead is only 9. Now the Bucks made a similar run at the Heat in Milwaukee a couple nights back on Friday night. The Heat were able to repel that Milwaukee fourth quarter rally.
Yeah, the Heat were up 12, went down 4, and came right back at Milwaukee.
That felt like a playoff game the other night. Udrih with a mid-range jump shot. 6 points for the 33-year-old Beno Udrih. That helps stop the bleeding and ending that Atlanta run at 9 points.
He made a big J at the end of the third quarter the other night when Milwaukee went up 4. So it was a 2-point lead going into the fourth instead of 4.
This triple by Schroeder, 7th rebound for Justice Winslow.
2-point lead for Milwaukee.
Miami plus 12 in the rebound department tonight.
Got about a little over 9-second difference. 2 clocks.
Bosh down the lane, fouled by Horford.
Gotta love it. He didn't settle for the J, saw the opening, took it to the basket. Why not use all your skills here? Watch as he comes around the corner. You can see the physicalness of this game. It's supposed to be a non-contact sport, right?
Last 6 games, Chris Bosh averaging 22 points a game. For the month, 21 points a game. The 31-year-old Bosh headed to the All-Star game for the 11th straight year. Really great honor for 2 Heat teammates. 6 years concurrently. Bosh and Wade representing Miami in the All-Star game. Bosh selected by the coaches. That's a great honor unto itself. Wade voted in by the fans, deservedly so. 7 points for Bosh in the quarter, 12 for the night. The Heat ahead by 13. 5 seconds left in the third. Schroeder threw it right to Udrih, and he heaves it up from the backcourt. Now, the Hawks made a nice run with 9 unanswered points. A good answer back by Miami, and a strong start for Amare Stoudemire. A double-double for Stoudemire and a double-figure lead for the Heat. Tough end of their season in the NFL. Antonio, a native of Florida. And we're a week away from Super Bowl 50. Who do you like, Coach? Broncos or Carolina Panthers?
That's a good. I don't know yet.
All right, let's
think about it.
give you the week to think it over. Now, Stoudemire, Bosh, and Winslow have teamed up for 24 rebounds, one fewer than the Hawks as a team. Chris Bosh, 14 points. Miami ahead by 15 as we open the fourth quarter.
Atlanta's made some runs. The Heat were up 60-38, 7-0 run. Heat were up 71-53, 9-0 Atlanta run.
Atlanta showing some resiliency. And Tony, I remember the words of Dr. Jack Ramsey, who worked alongside for 8 glorious seasons in the 90s. He would always say, it's inevitable in the NBA that the trailing team will make a run. It's what the team with the lead does after that run that matters.
That's right. There are no bad players in the NBA. We talk about it all the time. And on a given night, professional athletes are going to play well. So if they're behind, they're going to concentrate a little more and play a little harder to get the lead.
Nice to see 23-year-old Tim Hardaway Jr. back in the rotation for the Hawks. That's Bosh. And that's Kent Bazemore. Tim Hardaway Jr., by the way, 6 points off the bench in 11 minutes. There he is again. He can get hot and turn a game around in a hurry.
That was a tough shot there. He didn't look like he apologized to the coach for taking it.
Not the point guard his dad was, but different player entirely. Tim Hardaway Jr. is 6'6". Got a handle, but a very streaky shooter from downtown. When he gets hot, look out.
Tim was like a pit bull point guard.
Gerald Green with a nice alert pass into Winslow, who will go to the free throw line.
Gerald Green's another guy that has improved his game, his floor game. He's not just a shooter. He's a much better defensive player. He's bought into the get the better shot, not force it up. Got his teammate inside for a layup attempt.
And Tony, Jeff Teague just picked up his 5th foul. Justice Winslow, I think Heat fans are enjoying watching his improvement. I like what Eric Spoelstra said. He's so coachable. He said we don't want to overload him, but we keep putting new things on his plate, give him new challenges, and Winslow keeps responding positively.
Again, what he doesn't always show up in the box score. He's such a smart player. And you could see why Duke won the national championship last year.
Yeah, he was part of the reason. Miami ahead by 15. Justice Winslow now 10 points and 7 rebounds. Bazemore. He got fouled. And that will count. Oh, no, a travel on Bazemore. Scott Wall leaving us in suspense there. And Bazemore...
No, I'm not...
No, I'm totally confused.
No, he called a foul out on the perimeter. Scott Foster wants to know, are you sure that it's not a continuation?
So Winslow's going to get his 3rd foul, but why did he give the traveling indication?
Yeah.
That was strange.
It was. But what are they doing now? They're giving him... Did they count the basket? Why is he on the line? The Heat aren't over the limit.
Quarter just started.
Yeah. It's 1 shot, isn't it? 2 shots? I'm confused. He made the basket, right?
And if he's in the act of shooting, then the basket should have counted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, here's the deal.
Okay. Gotcha.
If he didn't travel, the basket would have counted. He got fouled just before the travel.
Yeah, right. Okay. And, the foul may have caused the travel.
Gerald Green answering back with a triple and then a foul.
That's why he gave the traveling call. Okay.
There's Gerald Green. Miami ahead by 18 with just over 10 minutes left in the game. Now we know why Scott Wall gave the traveling indication.
Yeah, he got fouled. There's a continuation, but then he traveled. Yeah, see the back foot drag. Right. Okay. That's a good call by the officials. They got together and got it right.
Al Horford with a mid-range shot.
Scott Wall had it right from the beginning.
15 points for Horford. Miami ahead 82-66. couple minutes into the fourth quarter. Lob for Green. Probably not the best choice for McRoberts. Teague blew right by Josh for the score. 10 points for Teague. Miami's lead is 14 with 9:35 left in the game.
Teague does his best work in the open court. Tough cover right here. Splitter trying to guard Bosch on the perimeter.
Winslow pops out, comes up with an air ball. And the Hawks pushing tempo. Tim Hardaway Jr. fouled on the drive. Right now the Hawks are the aggressors. 6 straight points for Atlanta.
Atlanta on another run. The game's been a game of runs for both teams.
3rd foul on Bosch, 3rd team foul on the Heat. Tim Hardaway Jr. will go to the free throw line. Well, if you joined us late or you just want to watch the whole game again, you can do it. Tonight at midnight, tomorrow at noon, a replay of the Heat and Hawks presented to you by your South Florida Honda dealers. We thank our broadcast partners at Fox Sports Sun for those Heat replays and for everything else they do to provide Heat Nation with the best TV coverage you can have.
I enjoy watching them over again. If we win.
6 straight points now for Atlanta. Tim Hardaway Jr. with 8 points off the bench, 4 of them here in the fourth quarter. And the Heat led by 22 early in the third quarter, that lead being threatened with 9:11 left here in Miami. Fourth quarter follow-up brought to you by JM Lexus. Heat defense has been very good. Atlanta shooting 39% for the game. They were at 28% in the first half, their lowest half of the season. Amari Stoudemire cashing in on his 5th straight start. His first double-double, season-tying high of 12 points, season-tying high of 10 rebounds. And Jeff Teague and Kyle Korver, a big part of Atlanta's 60-win season a year ago and trip to the conference finals. They've also been an equally big part of the reason they've been up and down this year. Those guys underperforming from a year ago. That great crowd here at home. Been 2 weeks since the Heat have played at home. Now they got to finish strong as they look for their first 4-game winning streak since March and April of 2014. That's almost 2 years ago. Eric Reed, Tony Fiorentino, Jax, and the Fox Sports Sun crew. Dragic with a nice jump hook. That's his first score of the second half.
Yeah, he took Schroeder into the lane. Hosted him.
14-point lead for the Heat. Horford setting the screen for Schroeder. Hardaway Jr. fires. He's heating up. 10 points, his highest scoring game this year. Good screen by Bosch. And Green dribbled into a turnover. Bosch knocked it free. Millsap for Horford. Intercepted by Green. And the hit ahead for Bosch. That's an excellent catch.
They got the mismatch. We got Tim Hardaway Jr. at 6'6", guarding Chris by not a switch.
Nice spin by Bosch. Dragic on the rebound, and we get a foul.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Horford, I believe, on fouling Bosch under the arm. Late call, but the right one.
Horford picks up his 4th foul.
Good spin move here. You're going to see Bosch got hit on the arm.
A little bit of foul trouble for Atlanta. 4 fouls for both Millsap and Horford. 5 fouls on Teague, who right now is at the scorer's table, ready to check back in. And Teague comes on for Schroeder. Schroeder sits with 8. Teague returns with 11 points.
You got the Hawks switching a lot, double teaming at times on the point, on the guard coming off the screen, with a lot of switching, so it's up to the team with the ball to see where the advantage is and see if they can take advantage of it.
Nice bounce for Bosch on a night the Heat have made 18 of 20 free throws. Miami up 14, 7:35 left in the game. Bosch with 16 points, by the way.
And you got Green now guarding point guard.
Al Horford, 17-point game for Al.
And you got a toss match going on now. Teague is guarding Dragic.
Dwayne Wade time. Wade, Stoudemire, and Deng all in a parade to the scorer's table right now.
Yeah, see if they can close this out.
Nick Roberts turning the corner, turning back, drawing the foul on Millsap and scoring. His first field goal of the game, a big one.
Good spin move, went right back to his left hand, which is the hand he shoots with, even though he's really right-handed. It's interesting. He makes most of his passes with the right hand, shoots with the left. Going to spin back, draw the foul, potential three-point play.
And this is the fifth foul on Millsap. He comes out of the game for splitter. Good work by McRoberts. More of a facilitator than a scorer, but he can do that too. So Millsap sits with 15 points, 5 fouls. Three-point play for McRoberts at a very important time. Puts the Heat up 15 with 7 minutes left. Teague roped down by Stoudemire.
Oh, man, they're calling it. It's a shooting foul. There's a foul on Bano. I mean, on Goran.
Stoudemire gets the foul first. Fourth team foul on the Heat.
There was contact before. Watch this. There was contact before Stoudemire reached in. Yeah, they called it on Stoudemire.
So Jeff Teague at the free throw line. Deng comes back, and he's going to replace McRoberts. Well, the Heat with their closing group in, just under 7 minutes left in the game. It's Dragic, Wade, Winslow, Stoudemire, and Deng. By the way, Justice Winslow. Talk about a coaching staff and a team having confidence in a 19-year-old rookie. He has played all 12 minutes of the fourth quarter in 3 straight games and in 4 of the last 5 games.
And there's no better way of knowing how a coach feels about a player than see who plays in the fourth. And with a 2 or 3 minute rest here, Chris Bosh will be back in.
Under 7 minutes left, Heat with a 13-point lead. Wade against the taller splitter. Spins in. Doesn't get the score.
Yeah, it looked like he should have gotten a reverse layup. He might have had it. Went against the 7 fouls on Dragic.
And that is number 5 on Dragic, who's had a little bit of an uneven 23-minute adventure. 9 points, 5 fouls.
He reached in and fouled from behind here. Yep.
So the knee of Dragic getting the heel of Teague for the takedown. I mentioned Jeff Teague as a barometer player. When the Hawks won here in early November, season high 26 points and 9 assists. When the Hawks lost to the Heat in Atlanta, he was held to 7 points on 2 for 12 shooting. And then he's got 14 with 6 assists.
He's 3 for 10. 8 from the foul. He's getting his points from the foul line. 9 for 9 from the foul line.
And one thing Mike Budenholzer said he wanted his team to do was be aggressive and get to the free throw line. They've had 28 attempts at the line tonight. Miami's ahead by 11. Under 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Shot clock down to 4. Wade against Splitter. Missing. Winslow with a rebound. Wade just 3 for 10. Stoudemire attacks the smaller Bazemore. He comes up empty. He'd have hit a wall right now.
That was good defense by Splitter. He went straight up in the air.
Bazemore, corner 3. And Justice Winslow with his 8th rebound. Neither team shooting the 3-ball with any accuracy tonight. Atlanta 4 of 18. The Heat are 4 for 17. Wade setting up Stoudemire.
I was going to almost call double dribble there, but he got the ball. He got fouled on the play.
Stoudemire going to get 2 free throws when we come back, or maybe just shot out of bounds underneath the Heat basket. Be right back. 5:38 left.
Every shoot around, they're letting everybody know how important the details are. when the human nature is you don't want to go through all the details, but when your best players set that tone, everybody else falls in line. And then on the court, they're just doing being who they are. I mean, they're great players, but they're not self-willing. It's happening all within the context of our offense, and that's important. As good as they are, if we don't have five-man basketball and contributions from other people, it's not enough.
That was Erik Spoelstra after the Friday night win in Milwaukee, and that was the second straight game he saw his team have 6 double-figure scores. Tonight they have 5 in double figures. Goran Dragic close to double figures with 9 points. But this crucial part of the game, they heat up 11, 5.5 minutes left in the game. Wade trying to make a pass, turned it over. And here comes Atlanta. Schroeder against Udrih. And Stoudemire got pushed from behind on the rebound by Al Horford.
Looks like he'll be shooting too. Running the floor like a guard. We talked about what great shape he's in. He really hustled down the floor for that rebound. He gets the benefit of it is he gets fouled from behind. Watch the way he runs the floor here. Getting down the floor. And then he's going to go for the rebound and get pushed from behind.
Amar'e Stoudemire, 12 points, season high 11 rebounds. Just drew the 5th foul on Al Horford. And fans, make sure you tune in to the next episode of Inside the Heat featuring Hassan Whiteside. It debuts Tuesday night, February 2nd, following the Heat Live postgame after the Heat and the Rockets. It's brought to you by Palmetto 57 Nissan. While Whiteside heals, Stoudemire filling in very well. Next man up mentality for Miami and for every good team in the NBA. Now Stoudemire tonight, season high in both points and rebounds. 13 points, 11 boards. Miami up 12. Amar'e Stoudemire, no stranger to double-doubles. 252nd of his career.
Remember when he wasn't playing earlier in the season, Eric? This is the plan. When they need him, he's ready.
Teague from downtown. And Amar'e Stoudemire collecting his 12th rebound of the game. And Miami with a 13-rebound advantage tonight. He'd have done very well in games where they out-rebound the opposition. Very well. Wade on the attack. Oh, what a play by Dwayne. First score of the fourth quarter. He's got 13, and the Heat lead by 14. Stoudemire with the steal of Bazemore's bounce back.
Wade, good defense on that play.
Home crowd can feel it.
And Eric, if the Heat keep this momentum the way it's going, there won't be a need to bring Bosh back into the game.
Wade was fouled on the catch by Jeff Teague, and Teague fouls out.
Wade will get 2 free throws.
First time this year that Teague is fouled out.
Watch this move. Yes. Took 2 red shirts to the basket. On the last post-up, they were a little fortunate because that pass came very high up on the wing. Normally that doesn't work very well, and Chris Bosh is ready to go back into the game.
Another frustrating night for Jeff Teague. He does finish with 15 points and 6 assists. He went 9 for 9 from the free throw line, missed all 5 from downtown, and was 3 of 11 overall. Chris Bosh does come back in. Amar'e Stoudemire should get a nice round of applause as he comes out.
21 minutes. 12 rebounds, 13 points, 5 for 8 from the floor. Wow, outstanding game.
Dwayne Wade now with 15 points. Miami ahead by 16 now with just over 4 minutes left. Heat have never trailed in this game. Only had 1 win this year where they led start to finish. That was against Dallas. That's Schroeder from downtown. And a Schroeder, his first score of the second half. He's got 9 points. Miami's up by 13.
Point guard, 7 for 23 from the floor for Hawks. The 2 point guards.
Wade weaving in and out of the defense, finding Deng. Deng gets a chance at a 3-point play. And Tony, therein lies the magic of Dwayne Wade, one of the great scorers in NBA history, and still one of the great quarterbacks in the NBA.
You know, he came in with 6:35 left in the quarter. He's got 4 points and that assist, and a very good defensive play at the other end where Stoudemire got credit for the steal. Wade with the ball handling skills. Always looking for teammates. Finds Deng inside. He'll be on the line when we come back.
To move up in the conference standings and in the division standings. This is a big result about to happen. The Magic ahead 113-104. Orlando's going to end an 8-game losing streak of their own and end a 5-game winning streak by the Celtics. So if the Heat hold on here and beat Atlanta and the Celtics lose in Orlando, Miami would move into first place in their own division over the Hawks and move a half game ahead of both Boston and Atlanta in the fourth place in the conference, only a half game behind number 3 Chicago. The Bulls also lost today in Los Angeles against the Clippers. But first things first, you got to take care of your own business on your own home court.
Well, what's important, too, he'll be up 2-1 in the series. If you win the series against another opponent and you're tied with your record, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head.
Dwayne Wade has just pulled even with Hall of Famer Bernard King on the NBA's all-time scoring list with his 17th point. So for the moment, Wade and King tied for 42nd all-time score.
He's doing his fourth quarter magic again. He's got 6 points and an assist since he came back into the game.
Millsap double clutching. Winslow picking up the foul. Fourth on Justice. But Dwayne Wade, 17 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And usually when his team needs it most, the Heat put the ball in Mr. Clutch's hand.
Fourth quarter magic. Boy, he used that screen perfectly there. Bernard King, what a great player he was. Hall of Famer.
Bernard King, former 7th pick back in the 1977 draft by the then New York Nets. We'll talk more about Bernard when Wade passes it. Millsap finishing up the three-point play. So Millsap and Horford each with 17. Actually, he just made 2 free throws here. So he's got 17. Miami's lead is 13 with 2:37 and counting.
That was the lead at halftime.
Bosh from 21 feet. Got it.
Another assist for D. Wade. So he got 6 points and 2 assists now in the fourth quarter.
So 18 for Bosh, 17 for Wade. The Heat reach 100 points. Again for the 3rd straight game. The first time they've done that since mid-December.
D. Wade with 8 assists for the game.
Man, this is big for Miami. Remember, they had went through a stretch of, I think, 5 games out of 6 where they were under 90. Now 3 games in a row at 100 or better.
Part of that was the point guard situation.
The last time the Heat did this, Coach, was December 13th, 14th, and 16th in 3 straight wins against Memphis, Atlanta, and Brooklyn. So Dwayne Wade about to pass one of the legends of the game in Bernard King. Bernard, who played with Ernie Grunfeld at the University of Tennessee, had a 14-year NBA career. He was a 4-time All-Star, played 2 years with the Nets, a year with Utah, 2 years with Golden State, 4 with the Knicks, and then 4 with Washington before finishing back up with the Nets. Twice he was a first-team All-NBA player. Tony, his 2 great years were 83-84 when he averaged 26 points on 57%. And then in 84-85 with the Knicks, he was averaging 33 points per game, leading the league in scoring. He had back-to-back 50-point games, and that's the year he suffered a devastating knee injury. But in looking up Bernard King's numbers, at the age of 34, which is also Dwayne Wade's age currently, King averaged 28 points a game in the 90-91 season. For Washington, Bernard King, one of the great front-court scorers in NBA.
He was fearless, maybe 6'6", somewhere around there, going to the basket. He just played with reckless abandon, and it's unfortunate that he had that knee problem, the knee surgery that when he blew out his knee. Probably could have added a couple of more years to his career.
Yeah, if Wade passes him by with 1 more point tonight, he will have passed him in 48 fewer career games. Deng from the corner, Kaboom. Luol Deng. He's having an excellent night. Deng was 17 points. He had 18 in the Heat win in Atlanta. Hawks have emptied their bench now. Shelvin Mack is in, Mike Scott's in, Lamar Patterson also in, and Mike Muscala.
21 assists for the Heat.
Winslow with a block. Winslow with the takeaway. Yeah, Coach, the Heat are going to get their first 4-game winning streak in almost 2 seasons. They're going to move into first place in the division, and they're going to move from 6th to 4th in the Eastern Conference standings. That's a night of great profit for Miami.
You know, and you can see with the ball movement and the body movement, you can tell Dang is really benefiting from. He's got 17 points tonight, 7 for 14. He's better when there's a lot of movement in the offense.
Tony, we won't see the Hawks again until February 19th when the Heat play in Atlanta, but tonight they're going to lose for the 3rd straight time and lose for the 5th time in their last 6 games. This is a team that's got some things to work out.
They do, but you're not sure they can. You know, they've been in this quagmire really this season. I mean, the record's pretty good, 27-21, but off of last year, that's not so good.
Jarnell Stokes, Josh Richardson, and Udonis Haslem all come in from Miami. And don't forget to stay with us for Heat Live postgame. Player interviews, locker room sound, highlights, little DJ Khaled out on the East Plaza, and the analysis from Ron Rossian and John Crotty, plus Eric Spoelstra's postgame press conference. Hey, it sounds jam-packed. It is, and it's all live from the Biscayne Bayside studio with Jack's running the show. Heat Live postgame coming up right after the contest.
I'm going to watch the postgame show getting a wine bath.
Stokes, a D-League All-Star, scores. Jarnell Stokes, when he was with the Skyforce, they won 13 out of 15 games. He won 3 All-Stars for Sioux Falls.
Dan Craig doing an outstanding job with that team, running the Heat system.
You know, Tony, Atlanta, one of 11 teams in the league that doesn't have their own D-League affiliate. When they assigned Tim Hardaway Jr. to a D-League team this year, he played with the Austin Spurs, and that makes sense for them because the Spurs, which is where Mike Budenholzer comes from, that coaching tree, 18 years as a Popovich assistant, so that makes sense. But they got 2 things on their wish list. They're building a new practice facility for the Hawks, and they want their own D-League affiliate.
It makes sense because then you got your own guy coaching like the Heat have, and when you bring the guy up, he's familiar with what you're doing.
Well, very nice night for Miami. Their first home game in 2 weeks turns into their 4th consecutive win, their first 4-game winning streak since March of 2014, and they march in the first place in the Southeast Division and in the 4th place in the Eastern Conference, leapfrogging both the Hawks and the Celtics. And Dwayne Wade will have to wait until Tuesday night in Houston to move past Bernard King in a sole possession of 42nd on the NBA's all-time scoring list. But, Coach, a very pleasing win for the Heat tonight. They put 5 in double figures, and they led it all the way from start to finish.